From 1863, after the birth of the Pissarros' first surviving child, Lucienne, until the painter's death 40 years later, Pissarro's life was dominated by his children. Jeanne-Rachel, born in 1865, a little less than 2 years after her older brother, was named after her two grandmothers, one of whom, Pissarro's mother Rachel, was so set against her son's relationship with Minette's mother that surely the choice of names was an effort at conciliation. The little girl was nicknamed Minette while she was still a baby. This wonderful painting, which belongs to the Wadsworth Atheneum, shows Minette standing in a blue smock, her hands held together, fiddling with her thumbs, looking a little to one side. Under her smock she wears a jaunty red plaid dress with a white collar, dark bloomers, stockings, and red socks, which suggest that it was probably quite chilly in the house. The painting is a fascinating combination, at once a portrait, an interior scene, and a still life. Directly behind Minette is an expandable dining table on which Pissarro has lined up a crystal decanter, a Chinese painted porcelain tea caddy, and an expensive silver tea or coffee pot with an ebony handle. A lone wine bottle stands above the table in the corner of a shelf. These details suggest the relative comfort of the Pissarro household, but they may also have been chosen to demonstrate the painter's skill at rendering surfaces that were reflective, transparent, and opaque. Many of Pissarro's portraits of his family members were neither signed nor dated. They were obviously made as a normal part of the family's daily life. Images of the children reading, painting, doing chores, eating, or sleeping in the increasingly crowded Pissarro household. Minette began appearing in her father's work as a 2- or 3-year-old toddler, clutching her mother's skirts and looking up for attention. As the first girl and the only one at that point to survive, Adele Emma, her younger sister, died as an infant in 1870. She was a favored child. She inherited her looks from her mother's side of the family, and Pissarro was so smitten with her that he painted her more often in a shorter period than any of his other children. Minette's health began to deteriorate dramatically the year after this portrait was painted. By October of 1873, Pissarro wrote to his friend, the homeopathic physician Dr. Gachet, about the gravity of the situation, describing the family as half dead with worry and concern. Tragically, their anxiety was justified. Minette died just a few months later, on April 6, 1874.